With a war on European soil, the European Union is in crisis mode, and fronting the EU response is the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who joins me now. Thank you so much for speaking to Euronews.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the European Union has just announced fresh measures, fresh sanctions targeting Belarus. Is the EU finally ready to stop this war and stand up to Vladimir Putin, the Russian president?
We never wanted this war. Ukraine never wanted this war. It is President Putin, indeed, who started this war and is leading this war. And we are answering with harsh sanctions on the financial and economic field. Today, I have proposed the third package of sanctions. And it's a whole package from financial sanctions, for example, decoupling some Russian banks from SWIFT, to freezing assets of the Russian central bank, listing personalities, but also for the very first time in the European Union, providing military equipment to Ukraine, a country under attack, in conflict. But we are doing two more steps. Today we decided to close our airspace for any Russian aircraft, and we will ban Russia Today and Sputnik because they are the propaganda machine of the Kremlin's war. And you're also going after Belarus. Indeed. We are also enlarging the sanctions towards Belarus. It's basically mirroring the sanctions that we have on Russia for Belarus to make sure that there's no way for any kind of circumvention. How far will solidarity with Ukraine go? Because, of course, Europeans and Europe will have to pay a price for these measures. Yes, we know that every war comes at a cost, and solidarity is huge with Ukraine. If you look at the refugees that are welcomed in the European Union, the financial support, now the military equipment support, all this shows that there's a strong solidarity with Ukraine. They share our values, they defend our principles, they are the ones who want to have a peaceful democracy, and Russia is attacking that, and therefore they deserve our full solidarity, and they have it. And while we're speaking here tonight, they're on the streets outside the Berlaymont calling for also European Union membership. Should Ukraine be given candidacy for EU membership? We have a process with Ukraine that is, for example, integrating the Ukrainian market into the single market we do have. We have a very close cooperation on the energy grid, for example. So many topics where we work very closely together, and indeed over time they belong to us, they are one of us, and we want them in. And you mentioned people arriving, of course, to Europe. Thousands of people have already arrived in Poland and also in Romania. Do you have a master plan to welcome these people? Absolutely. We've been preparing for weeks for different options, and of course there's a huge openness to welcome these refugees. We have contingency plans with the different member states, and of course all those member states who are not frontline states are also of course willing to take in refugees. And will you trigger the EU refugee protection law? Well, this is a question, if it's needed, of course we can anytime do it. So we are very open to that, and this will be something we will discuss with our member states. And tell me, this war seems to be a bit of a game changer for Europe. How will this war reshape the European Union? First of all, there is an unprecedented cooperation and standing together by all democracies that we see, our American friends, the UK, Canada, joined by Japan, South Korea, just to name a few. Australia is also part of the group. So this shows we stand up together to defend democracy. For the European Union, it's important that we defend our peace order, the rules-based order, and that we're very clear as a power, as a European Union, that we do not tolerate on European soil the trampling on our values. And just finally, have you got any faith in the talks, the peace talks? And will you ever trust Vladimir Putin again? Of course, it is important that the Ukrainian side agrees to the peace talks and that conditions are fine for the Ukrainian side. In general, it is always better to have peace talks than to have a fight. The trust in President Putin is completely broken and eroded. Okay. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, thank you so much for joining us on Euronews. Thank you for having me.